What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And we've got some breaking news this afternoon, this fine Sunday afternoon. The Kansas City Chiefs are re-signing linebacker Nick Bolton to a 3-year deal that keeps him from hitting free agency. Let's look at the official report from Jordan Schultz, NFL Insider on X. He says sources Nick Bolton gets $45 million over 3 years, was set to have a major market in free agency, and was drawing significant interest from AFC West rivals, the Broncos and Raiders, per sources. Instead of hitting the open market, the two-time Super Bowl winning linebacker stays with the Chiefs on a big deal. So let's talk about this, guys. I have a lot of thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs re-signing Nick Bolton. I had made a video previewing his free agency not too long ago. And I said, I like Nick Bolton, but I'm not sure I'm in it to keep him on a big money contract because I thought the Chiefs could get a similarly impactful player for about 10% of the cost of Nick Bolton, to be completely honest with you guys. And I'm a big Mizzou fan, big Mizzou guy, so I love Nick Bolton, obviously. Went to Missouri for college, and it's been fun having him on the Chiefs for the last few years, but I can take my black and gold glasses off to acknowledge the fact that he's a limited player that really cannot play on passing downs and is not very good in coverage. Now, I always said, though, that I'd be okay having him back for the right price. Is this the right price? I'll get to that in a second, but continuing, with what I was saying. So 3 years, $45 million. On the surface, $15 million per year, right? Around that range. So here's my thing. You look at some of the top linebackers in the league and what they're getting. Fred Warner, for example. Fred Warner is making about $17 million per year. Is the gap between Fred Warner and Nick Bolton that close that the contract should reflect that? I don't think so. I think Fred Warner is head and shoulders above Nick Bolton and can actually cover, whereas Nick Bolton can't. Now, I understand why the Chiefs brought him back, though. I think Nick Bolton's a good player. He obviously provides a lot of value to the defense. The coaching staff loves him. Michael Darcy, who was down at the Super Bowl, talked to linebackers coach Brendan Daly and heard Steve Spagnuolo speak and came away with the impression that the Chiefs were going to do everything they can to re-sign Nick Bolton. So this isn't really surprising to me. The Chiefs love him. He's the green dot on defense, kind of the Patrick Mahomes, I guess I should say, on the defensive side of the ball. He's kind of the on-field general, kind of a battlefield commander, and he does a lot that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He does a lot of adjustments on the field, and he sees a lot of things. I mean, they basically talked about at the Super Bowl how Nick Bolton will come up with his own blitzes on the field that create havoc plays for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. So, he's a good run stopper. He's a good downhill linebacker, but I think $15 million per year on the surface for a linebacker who is somewhat one-dimensional is a little bit of an overpay. So what I'm hoping is that, you look at the contract, and Jordan Schultz, one more time, we'll look at his tweet, $45 million over 3 years. But it was reported that he's getting $30 million guaranteed. So I'm really hoping that the $30 million guaranteed is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here for Nick Bolton, because if it's $30 million guaranteed over 3 years, then I'm hoping essentially what this is $10 million per year, because I'm fine with Nick Bolton on $10 million per year. We'll have to wait until the contract details come out so I can analyze things a little bit better, but I'm really hoping this is more so of a 3-year deal worth maybe like $10 to $12 million per year, and then maybe the third year is mostly a dummy year where the Kansas City Chiefs can move on. And that's kind of a contract we've seen Brett Veach do a lot, is the 3-year deal where they can easily get out of the third year of the contract. So I'm thinking that's probably what this is. But, the Chiefs do stay young on defense with this move. Nick Bolton, only 25 years old. So this is a player that they really like and think can still be productive and maybe even get better over the next 2 to 3 years. And here's the other thing, guys, and I'll say this: like, I'm not super upset that they re-signed Nick Bolton. I just think the contract is a little rich. The roster construction this offseason still is a little bit perplexing to me. But look, I'm not the general manager. Brett Veach is the general manager. A lot of people seem to have trust in him. Hell, sometimes it's hard for me to criticize him without people chastising me for saying, how could you question the guy who's brought the Kansas City Chiefs to 3 Super Bowl victories in 5 years? And I understand all of that, but sometimes you have to analyze these moves objectively, and that's what I'm doing. Again, I'm a Mizzou fan. I love Nick Bolton. This contract just feels a little bit rich to me. At the same time, I understand why the Kansas City Chiefs are doing it. And also, Jordan Schultz mentioned how other AFC West teams were checking in on Nick Bolton. I think it's a good thing that, he's not going to any of those places and kind of sharing the secrets of the Chiefs defense with those teams. And you don't have to see him twice a year anymore. Although if they did, I'm sure they would target him in coverage. But again, he does a lot of things on the field. He's very smart, plays instinctually. He can sniff out a lot of plays before most people even know what they are. Very fast thinker on the field. I don't want to make it seem like Nick Bolton's a bad player. He's a good player. Again, I just feel as if the contract is a little rich, pending the details about, what the guaranteed money looks like, how they're going to spread this thing out. We'll see. But Nick Bolton was maybe their best defensive player in the Super Bowl. And that is one thing I'll say about Nick Bolton is he seems to show up in the big game every time. He was great in Super Bowl 57 against the Eagles, damn near could have won MVP. He was good in last year's Super Bowl, and he was one of the only players that showed up in this year's Super Bowl. So Nick Bolton is a big game player. He's a riser. He might have some howler performances in the regular season, but this is a player that the Chiefs like. I understand it. I'm not surprised. You knew Steve Spagnuolo was going to have a hand in the personnel on this team, always does, even when we don't agree with it. He loves Nick Bolton, and as long as that's the case, you can expect Nick Bolton back in Kansas City. So those are my thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs extending linebacker Nick Bolton, locking up yet another player before they hit free agency is good. One less hole to fill for the Kansas City Chiefs. Got Hollywood Brown back yesterday, Nick Bolton today. I do like at least having some stabilizing moves before these guys hit the open market. You want some stability on your roster, and the Chiefs are certainly doing that. So those are my thoughts. Again, want to hear from you guys in the comments what your thoughts are on the Kansas City Chiefs bringing back Nick Bolton. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Definitely want to hear from you guys. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. And make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com, arrowheadaddict.com for more. Last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB. That's all I got for you guys in this one. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.